Hi guys, welcome to my live session. Welcome to my live session. This is William Ross, and I'll be I'll be sharing words of wisdom. You can check out my bio, and subscribe to my channel because I'll be sharing words of wisdom that will be of great blessing to you. You don't want to miss sessions like this because it is very important that we begin to view life from a superior perspective. Many people's view of life has been very, very lopsided. Many people's view of life has been, full of darkness. What I mean by that is that people have viewed life in ignorance. You know, just standing at a particular perspective, you will not be able to. Let me explain it, for instance, with architecture. In technical drawing or architectural drawings, architectural design, there is something called perspective, structural engineering, and all of these fields, right? There is something called perspective, right? Now, you can stand at the front of the building and have a front elevation or a front view of that building. Now, that is a very profound view or perspective to that building, but that is not all there is to the building, right? Yes. So at the front, you capture, the beautiful, and most at times, buildings are always finer at the front, right? So you see the visuals, the aesthetics, the beauty of the building at the front. But despite the fact that that front view is very beautiful, that is not all there is to the building. Yes, that is not all there is to the building, right? You can see the front and yet not know a lot about the building. For instance, seeing the front alone, you can't be able to see inside the building. Or let's not even talk about inside. Let's just talk about the external parts of the building. You cannot be able to see the external part of the building. You cannot be able to see, the side view and the back view. You can't be able to see the left, side view, the right hand side view, and the back view. You can only see the front and probably some areas of these side views, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, that perspective really matters in life. But if you begin to elevate that perspective such that you are not just looking at the front of the building, you are not just looking at the side view, you are not just looking at the building from the back view, you now have an elevation such that your perspective covers all of the sides. You know, that is when you begin to appreciate that building for what it is. So life ought to be appreciated with the best perspective. I'm telling you, currently, the perspective you have concerning life is not all there is. There is more. There is more. So my live sessions will be beckoning on you, drawing you to discover the much more about life. The much more. Of course, I'll be giving definitions to what actually life is. But you've got to understand that your current view of life is not all there is. Your current perspective about life is not all there is. And one of the things that, you will do, one of the things that you will do to creation is that you begin to discover the much more about life. You begin to discover the much more about life. There is much more than what you currently see. There is much more than what you currently see. What you currently see is not all there is to life. So you've got to begin to discover yourself. You've got to begin to discover greater perspectives about life. Your perspective currently is beautiful. Your perspective currently about life may be rich and full of details, but it is not all there is. You can know much more about life, right? You can know much more about life. And if you begin to come into greater knowledge about life, you will do better. Yes, if you know better, you will do better. So I'm big on knowledge. And as you listen to me on the live, try to share it, let others join, so that let's build a community of people that are very passionate about knowing more. They are passionate about knowledge. You are not that person that will just come and, do life like a victim, do life like a passerby. You are just observing. You want to be that person that is going to make an impact on the sands of time. You want to be that person that is going to explore life to the fullest. You don't just want to come and observe. You don't just want to come and be, objective. Don't just have an objective where it looks as though you are always the victim. It looks as though, circumstances are always meeting you unprepared. Situations are meeting you unprepared. No, you should begin to create the kind of experience you want out of life. Yes. Begin to create the kind of experience you want out of life, and it's possible. And in order to do that, you need to begin to change your perspective about life. You need to begin to change your perspective about life. Yes. You need to begin to change your perspective about life. The moment your perspective about life changes, come on, you have begun to take a hold of the steering wheel of your life to drive yourself on the path of what? On the path of life, on the path of truth. Yes. So there is more to life than what you currently know, and that's why you should be big on knowledge. There is more to life than what you have ever read about, you've ever heard, you've ever seen with your eyes. That's why you've got to be big on knowledge. You've got to be someone who is passionate about knowledge. You must make up your mind, to begin to take the next 30 days of your life, the next 60 days of your life, the next 90 days of your life, the next 1 year of your life to go for knowledge. I'm telling you, the universe will open up to you in such a great and mighty way when you begin to make intentional pursuit towards knowledge. And not just any kind of knowledge, because there is knowledge out there that is not profitable. I'm talking about you making up your mind to go for knowledge that is going to profit you, spirit, soul, and body. Yes, knowledge for your whole being, knowledge for your tribe. Man is a complex being. Man, many times, many people have tried to define man, but they fail to understand who man really is. Man is a being, of course, that has many complexities, but man has a definition. When man has a reference point, man will be able to be defined when he has a reference point. So as the days go by, we'll begin to give definition to man with regards to a reference point, man's best reference point, right? But my admonition is that you should begin to make an intentional pursuit for knowledge. What you know currently is what produces the outcomes around you currently. What you have known thus far is what produces the outcomes. It means that if you go to be, if you determine and make up your mind to know better, you will do better. You will do better. You will do better. No, see, somebody said now in the chat session that profitable shouldn't be called knowledge. Well, okay, knowledge that is not profitable shouldn't be called knowledge. Exactly, that's very correct. Knowledge that is not profitable shouldn't be called knowledge. I can see you. Thank you very much. I see your comment. Yes, I see your comment. It shows you are listening. Yes, knowledge that is not profitable shouldn't be called knowledge, and that's true. That's true, because what is the essence of gaining knowledge? What is the essence of receiving knowledge? And it's not profiting you. It's not profiting you. So you should begin to make intentional pursuit for knowledge that is profitable. And that's what is true knowledge. That's actually true knowledge. Knowledge that is profitable is true knowledge. So knowledge that is unprofitable is pseudo knowledge, right? It's knowledge that puffs up, but there's no real substance in it. No real substance. So my name is William Ross, and I'm big on knowledge. I'm big on exploring life, exploring truth, exploring thoughts and consciousness, making contact with true wisdom that is able to change your life, that is able to revamp and revitalize your entire being. It's very possible, guys. Let's build that community of wisdom. Let's build that community of knowledge where we are intentional. As you join, just please like, share, and then subscribe. Let's spread the word around. A revolution of wisdom is about to break out A revolution of wisdom is about to break out. We've discovered that a lot of knowledge in quotes seems to fly around all over. But we don't just want to know things for knowing sake. No, knowledge that is for knowledge's sake alone will not profit. So don't know knowledge, like don't receive knowledge just for knowledge's sake. That's what I'm trying to say. Because the moment you begin to receive a knowledge for just the knowledge's sake, you are already missing out. You are already missing out. You should receive knowledge to the end that it brings transformation to your being. Yes. So you don't seek knowledge for knowledge's sake alone. That kind of knowledge is unprofitable. Yes. You should begin to learn how to attach a higher purpose to the knowledge that you seek. Begin to learn how to attach a higher purpose to the knowledge that you seek, such that every knowledge you seek has a purpose in your heart. It has a purpose in your heart. There is an intention in your heart, right? There is a consciousness by which you seek to pursue knowledge. And the first law of knowledge is desire. You can't really go after something that you have not built up a desire in your heart for. Yes, so the first law of the pursuit of knowledge is desire. The moment you begin to stir up yourself in a particular direction to begin to desire something, as you begin to seek the knowledge of that thing, resources will begin to gravitate towards your direction to make contact with that knowledge. But what opens you up to that knowledge is desire. Desire. The law of desire cannot be bypassed, in the pursuit for knowledge. The law of desire cannot be bypassed. So look at everything you currently see as a future reality. What is future to you is what your hands have not handled. What is future to you is what is not yet in your consciousness. What is future to you is what you have not seen in your heart. What you've not held as a stronghold in your mind. It's still a future thing to you. But something that is ingrained, that is deep in your consciousness, is no more a future. Yes, it may not even have manifested physically, right? It may not have manifested physically, but it's no more a future. Why? It's strong in your consciousness. You know it like you know your name. You know it whether sleeping or awake. It's strong in your consciousness. It's no more a future, right? It's not more a future. So I'm saying that before you begin to seek knowledge, make sure that desire for that thing becomes strong. Because if desire is not strong, when you receive resistances, when you receive oppositions, you'll be tempted many times to throw in the towel and just give up on this pursuit for knowledge. Because many things will come to test you, to see if you are truly passionate and desirous about the knowledge that you seek. At every phase and every season of our lives, there is a particular knowledge we must interact with, to break into new levels of manifestations, to break into new levels of possibilities as far as life is concerned. So there will always be the resistances. Why? Because we live in a broken realm. This three-dimensional realm is a broken realm. It's a broken realm. It's a realm that has been, tampered with. It's a broken realm. So there will always be resistances when you want to set your heart on the path of truth. When you want to, begin to make interactions with knowledge. There will always be resistances. But your desire is what will guide you. That even when those resistances come, you would not be perplexed. You will not be thrown aback. Of course, those resistances can come to shake you many times, but your heart is fixed. You know that despite the resistances, on your path for the pursuit of knowledge, despite the resistances, by reason of the fact that it is a strong passion and desire in your heart, you will not throw in the towel easily. That's why the law of desire is very important. You want to see new manifestations in your life. You want to see new possibilities break out in your life. You must begin to desire a higher level of knowledge than what you currently are exposed to, than what you currently know. Yes. What you don't know is what is keeping you from your next level of manifestation. What you don't know currently is what is keeping you from your next level of manifestation. Now, this is not a religious platform. Of course, We may have different religious affiliations, but I want to explore the path of truth with you guys. I want to explore life. I want to explore thoughts and consciousness with you guys. I want you guys to understand that there is truth. Why? And why can we even say there is truth in the first place? We can say there is truth in the first place because there is what? A reference point. The reference point for truth is the supreme being. The reference point for truth is God. The reference point for truth is God. So we can say there is truth, or we can say there is a body of knowledge that is superior knowledge, because there is a reference point for it. The reference point for truth is God. So yes, we may not want to be religious. We may not want to, go down the lane of religion, but you must know that on the path of truth, one of the cloaks, one of the garments you would have to take off is the garment of religion. Yes. And religion is not what you think it is. Yes, for instance, I am a Christian, right? By belief and thought and consciousness. I'm a Christian. What does that mean? It means I believe in Jesus. I believe that Jesus is God. I believe that Jesus is God, right? I believe that He is the Son of God. I believe that Jesus is God. Now, that's my inclination. But I'm trying to say that truth goes beyond religious affiliations. Truth that has its reference point in God goes beyond religious affiliations. God is not a religious person, right? God is not a religious person. God is not a Buddhist, he's not a Muslim, he's not a Christian, he's not Hindu, he's not a religious person. So on your path for truth, your eye needs to be single, so that you don't allow religious veils. You don't allow religious veils. You don't allow religious cloaks hinder you from seeking truth. As a truth seeker, as a seeker of truth, your eye must be single. Your eye must be single, because many a times people who have religious affiliations, many times their religious cloaks tend to be the hands that pull them back on the quest for truth. Religion has a way, and by religion you should understand what I mean. I mean that religion that has in itself an ability to draw you back from seeking truth. Yes, religion has a way of pulling people back. It has a way of pulling people back. So if you want to really be a seeker of truth, if you want to walk on the path of truth, you must make up your mind not to be held back by the claws of religion. I'm not saying you should not be a Christian. I'm not saying you should not honor God. I'm not saying you should not serve God. I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. Yes, I believe in God. If you guys have conversations around that, you can let me know in the comment section. If there is anybody on this live that does not believe in the existence of God, we can have open conversations. I'm open to talk to different people from different religions. Yes, I'm not afraid of what questions. You can send in your questions. You have questions about life, about religion, about the economy. You have questions about nations of the world. You have questions on any subject, on wealth, on finances. You have questions on relationships. Whatever the questions, bring in your questions. There are no labels, no religion. So we are open to answer questions from Christians. We are open to answer questions from Buddhists. We are open to answer questions from pagans. We are open to answer questions from atheists. We are open to answer questions from free thinkers. We are open to answer questions from traditionalists. We are open to answer questions from all walks of life. Why? What binds us is the pursuit for truth. What binds us is the pursuit for truth. What binds us is the pursuit for truth. So whether you are a Christian on this life, whether you are a Buddhist, you are Hindu, you are Muslim, whatever you are, I'm not taken aback by your religious affiliations. I see you from the lens of love. So I'm open to all your questions bordering on religion, questions bordering on relationships, questions bordering on wealth and abundance, questions bordering on the economy of nations. I'm open to all your questions. So don't feel like, okay, there's a way religion separates people and keeps them in factions, right? But right now, I don't want you to be held back by your religious factions. I want us to come to seek the truth as it is in God. Yes, because I told you earlier that truth has its reference point in God. We can say something is truth because it has its reference point in God. And you have questions even about the phenomenon of God. Be free to answer your questions. Be free to ask your questions, right? Be free to ask your questions. You have questions about the phenomenon of God. Who is God? You have questions about religion. What good has religion done? Or what evil has religion contributed to society? Is religion truly the opium of the masses? You have these questions. Be free to ask your questions. Be free to ask your questions. Be free to ask your questions. It's a community that I want to be vibrant. It's a community where I want you to really bring in your perspective about life so that we can learn from it. And if there are any adjustments that needs to be made from your perspective, we will analyze these things. We will look at these things and examine them. We'll sit together and talk about these things. So please chat. I'm waiting for your questions. Every time you have a question when the life is going on, remember, you want to ask questions, just look at my bio to see the things we talk about, right? Look at my bio to see the things we talk about. So I'm open to any questions, whether they are religious questions, whether they are financial questions, they are relationship questions, I'm theological questions. I'm open to any questions. You can look at my bio to see the kind of questions you should ask. You are free to ask questions bordering across all walks of life. We are seekers of truth here. We are passionate about the truth. I want to let you know that irrespective of your religious affiliation, you are welcome here. Am I a religious person? Yes, you may call me a religious person if you want to. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. But irrespective of your religious affiliations, you are welcome here. I see you with the lens of love. So you are welcome here, and you are free to ask any questions you want to ask. All right. So thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the live. Just do well to like and subscribe, and then share to your friends. We'll be talking around wisdom. We'll be talking around wealth and finances. We'll be talking about principles that make for good relationships, because I discovered that many people, though they have good intentions, they are well-meaning people, but many times they seem to fall out in their relationships. They seem to have blur areas in their relationships. Many things are not yet clear. And by relationships, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm not just talking about what you call love relationships. I'm talking about relationships of all sorts, whether relationships with parents and children, relationships with teacher and student, relationships between spouses, relationships between man and woman. I'm talking about relationships on every level. Relationships on every level. So you want to come to that point where you begin to seek the knowledge that is needed to cause you to break into your next level of manifestation. What you are currently manifesting is as a result of your current consciousness. So if you expand your consciousness, if you broaden your worldview, if you broaden your horizon, you will manifest greater things. Your current level of manifestation is tied to your current level of consciousness. You cannot manifest what you are not conscious of. And by consciousness, I'm not just talking about head knowledge. I'm not just talking about bookish knowledge. You can know something in the head, but if it has not become a stronghold in your heart, if it has not sat upon your soul as a consciousness, you will not be able to manifest it. Yes. So your deepest levels of consciousness produces your manifestations. Your deepest levels of consciousness produces your manifestations. The more conscious you are, the more you will manifest, the things which you are conscious of, right? So for instance, take wealth as a case study. You want to see greater manifestations of wealth in your atmosphere. You must begin to get conscious of it enough to see that manifestation in your atmosphere. So wealth, for instance, you want to manifest greater levels of wealth and abundance. Don't be interested about the external. Don't be interested about pursuing money first. Your first interest, if you want to see greater levels of manifestations of wealth and abundance in your atmosphere, your first level of interest should be in what? The knowledge that you acquire. Because there are actually three broad categories of people. There are people who have a poor mindset and poor physical expressions. A poor mindset and poor reality, poor manifestation. So there are three broad categories. Please stay with me and listen to this. There are three broad categories of people. For instance, taking wealth as a case study. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, but taking wealth as a case study, there are three broad categorizations of people. Now, there are people with a poor mindset and poor physical expressions. Now, then there are people with a wealthy mindset and poor physical expressions. Now, these people in the second category, they have begun to get transformed in their mind because of the knowledge they are interacting with, but they just need a little more time for their physical reality to catch up. They just need a little more time for the physical reality to catch up, or in quote, what you will call their pocket. So they have the wealthy mindset already, but they just need a little more time for their pockets to catch up with that mindset. Now, this is the second category of people. Remember, the first category of people, the people with a poor mindset and poor physical reality. The second category of people are people with, a wealthy mindset and poor physical reality. And then the third category of people are people with a wealthy mindset and then a rich or a wealthy physical reality. So you don't want to be in the category of people who have a poor mindset and poor physical expressions. Yes, I don't care whether your current physical expression is poor. As long as you are wealthy in your mind, your pockets will catch up. I don't care what is currently going on around you. I don't care what is currently manifesting in your atmosphere. If you can change your mindset, your pockets will catch up. If you can change your mindset, your atmosphere will begin to take on the shape of your mindset. Just be passionate enough to change your mindset. Once you can change your mindset, your atmosphere will begin to take up the shape of your mindset. You are reflecting currently, the texture, the shape of your mindset. If you can change your mindset, your atmosphere will begin to catch up. That's why, my admonition or my charge to you guys, my teaching to you guys, or whatever you want to call it, is that you should begin to get more intentional about knowledge. Nothing changes around you until you begin to know better. When you know better, you will do better. When you know better, you will perform better. Yeah, so nothing changes around you if you are not increasing in knowledge. I don't care what your paycheck is currently. You want to walk in wealth and abundance, be interested in what? Changing your mindset. If you can change your mindset, your atmosphere will catch up. Your physical expressions will catch up. They will catch up. It's just a matter of time. They will catch up. They will catch up. Before I began to have certain levels of, wealth and financial abundance, I was this kind of person that I already began to talk big because of my consciousness. So even when I did not have, physical expressions of wealth, I was already talking about it as though I have it. Why? Something has shifted up here. Something had shifted in my consciousness. So even though it had not yet manifested physically, I was already in that environment of wealth and abundance because it was a shift that took place, first of all, in my mindset. It was a shift that took place in my mindset first. It was only a matter of time before my physical environment began to catch up with my mindset. It was only a matter of time. So be interested about what? Your mindset. What do you feed your mind with? What do you put into your mind? You are largely reflecting the quality and the texture of your mindset currently. Yes. What you are reflecting currently is what is the degree to to which what you are manifesting currently rather is what? The texture of your mindset. The texture of your mindset. The texture of your mindset. You know, there are things that just happen, what people will call luck, right? This luck thing, we'll talk about it some other time, right? So there are things that just happen by luck, using luck. I don't want to use terms without properly explaining what they mean. So please, for lack of better words, just allow me use some terms as we progress. Probably in other live sessions I have with you guys, I would explain some of these terms better. Okay, so what people call luck, for instance, there are people that just experience luck and they just hit certain lump sums. For instance, they just hit certain pleasant situations, and they hit it once upon a time, and they lack the ability to be able to replicate it again and again and again. You don't want to live life based on luck. You don't want to live life based on luck. You want to live life intentionally, where you begin to curate your experiences. You begin to create the atmosphere around you. Don't live life just based on luck, hoping and wishing that things will get better, hoping and wishing that things will change, and you are not really making any input to changing your mindset so that things can really begin to change. Don't live life based on luck. It takes intentional pursuit of knowledge, intentional pursuit of wisdom to begin to change the atmosphere around you. Yes, you must be intentional with the pursuit of knowledge. You must be intentional, on the path of truth to begin to change the outcomes around you. If you are somebody that you just have this mindset that what will be, no, you will not really get the best out of life. You just live life carefully and just feel like what will be, will be. One day my turn will reach, or one day it will get to my turn. No, you don't want to be that kind of person that is waiting for your turn to come and your turn never comes, right? What if the table never turns? You know what I mean by that? So you don't want to be that kind of person that is living based on luck alone. You don't want to be that person that is hoping and wishing that things will get better without making any intentional inputs to see that things really get better with the kind of knowledge you are interacting with. Life is not lived based on luck alone. Is luck something we should consider? Yes, we can consider luck. There is something called luck. We'll describe it, okay? We'll explain it some other time. But I'm saying that life is too big, life is too profound, life is too serious to live it based on luck alone. You must become intentional with the knowledge you are interfacing with the knowledge you are interacting with, to change the outcomes around you, to begin to change your atmosphere. All right, if you can hear me, just like and share and then subscribe to the channel so that you can be around. We are going to have awesome sessions, amazing sessions every day. Every day we are going to have amazing sessions where we share around wisdom, we share around truth, we share practical and pragmatic steps to really revamp and change your life. We don't want to approach things from a lopsided perspective. We want to be cultured and balanced in our view of things. We want to be very cultured and balanced. We want to have sufficient knowledge that is deep enough to begin to change our outcomes. Knowledge that is rich enough to begin to change our outcomes. These are the days where you need to start bidding. You need to start kissing insufficient knowledge goodbye. You know what I mean by that, okay? All right. You need to start bidding insufficient knowledge goodbye. You've got to make up your mind to become more intentional about knowledge. So if you are somebody that has, you have just seen life from a superficial plane of reality, you have not really been deep in your thoughts and consciousness. You've just had a little here, a little there, and you are not really going deep to understand why. To understand the why of things, to understand the why, the how of things, you will really not get much out of life. People who rule their world are people who, they went out of the box, in quotes, to begin to seek for knowledge, to begin to pursue knowledge. Your intentionality about the pursuit of knowledge is what makes you stand out, is what defines the outcomes around your life. Your intentionality about the pursuit of knowledge is what defines the atmosphere that you carry all around. You can change your atmosphere when you begin to change your mindset. You can change your atmosphere by your thoughts and your consciousness. So what are the things you are thinking about? What are you feeding your mind with? These are the things that will begin to shape the experiences that you make out of life. They will begin to shape the experiences of life for you. So if there is anything you would hear me say today, I want you to become more intentional about knowledge. Now, this is personal to you. Whoever you are hearing the sound of my voice, take this personal. Take this personal, that you are making up your mind that you become more intentional, with the pursuit of knowledge, and not just any kind of knowledge, but knowledge that really transforms. Knowledge that really transforms, knowledge that really revitalizes you and revamps your entire being. You don't want to do life as it has always been. If you know better, you will do better. Yes, that's the fact. If you know better, you will do better. I cannot overemphasize this. If you know better, you will do better. What you currently don't know is what is keeping you from your next level of manifestation. So if you know better, you will do better. You will do better. You will do better. So make up your mind to become intentional. See, there is a level of detachment you must begin to place upon yourself. Detachment from your comfort zone. I'm not saying, for instance, before I began to come into certain levels of wealth and abundance, one of the primary goals I wrote in my journal concerning, the purpose for which I should get wealth was that I want to be comfortable enough to begin to do life. Many people are not living life. By that, I mean that many people are not exploring thought and consciousness and really finding a higher purpose to life. So some people are just living for paychecks. Some people are just living for paychecks. Some people are just, they've not really had time to begin to explore life for what life really is. So one of the strongest purposes I wrote in my journal for which I should pursue wealth is because I want to be comfortable enough to explore truth. I want to be comfortable enough to grow. See, growth needs an environment. Growth needs an atmosphere. You can't grow in just any atmosphere. You can't grow in just any environment. Growth is cultured in a particular environment. There's a particular environment that if you are exposed to, it induces growth. Yes, very true. Very true. So if you do not have the means, how can you expose yourself to that environment that can induce growth? Growth has its atmosphere. Growth has its space. Growth has its environment. You can't just experience growth in just any environment. There is an environment where you can culture yourself to grow. And that's why you need to be comfortable enough. By comfort now, you should now know what I mean by comfort. Comfort is that you should be free enough. You should be at liberty to begin to seek the things that truly make you grow as a being, as a conscious being. You should begin to seek, you should begin to seek to be free, to be at liberty, to pursue the things that really make you grow as a conscious being. Yes. You can't just grow in any environment. There is a particular environment that steers growth. There is a particular environment that induces growth. If you do not find that environment, you may be moving around in a vicious circle. You may just be rigmaroling and never really growing. But when you begin to find that environment, you would see how much of an impact it would make on your growth. So even to find that environment, you must receive knowledge. You must be a lover of wisdom. You must be a lover of wisdom. Is the word philosophia. That Greek word philosophia is that word that also means, translated to English is philosophy, right? love for wisdom. Love for wisdom. But my exploration of truth and consciousness goes beyond the term philosophy. It goes beyond the term philosophy. Truth is whole. Truth is completeness, perfection, fullness, wholeness. Truth is completeness, perfection, wholeness. That complete harmony. That's what truth is. And it goes beyond philosophy. Philosophy is actually an attempt to explore truth. Of course, I love philosophy, right? But that is not all there is to the exploration of truth. That is not all there is to thoughts and consciousness that we explore as conscious beings. Okay? So if there is anything you should get from this life today, be intentional about knowledge. Don't just live life passively. Don't live life passively. Be intentional about knowledge. So if you need suggestions on the kind of books to read, probably for the particular season of your life you are currently in, books touching finances, books touching academics, okay, let's leave academics out of the matter, okay? I'm just speaking broadly now. Books touching relationships, religion, theology, whatever it is, I am open to all questions across these fields. If you can look at my bio, right, to see the things that we discuss about, like, share, and subscribe, okay? So you can look at my bio to see the kind of things we talk about. Look at my bio to see the kind of things we talk about. There are things that will enrich your mind. There are things that will revamp and revitalize your entire being. There are things that will bring transformation to your life. And this is not bluffing, right? This knowledge, this wisdom we share, it has been tested. And of course, me communicating with you in this community, right? It is an opportunity to also learn from you. So there are perspectives about life that you can teach me, right? By your comments. When you comment, I can learn more things from you, right? That's why it's a community. It's a community. So it's not just about William Ross. Of course, William Ross is the face of this community, right? That's my name. I'm William Ross. So you can check out my bio to see the things I discuss about. But beyond that name, right, it's a community where we explore truth, where we explore thoughts and consciousness. Because we know that because now we know that if we know better, we will do better. So any area of your life, that you are not seeing results as you ought to, go for knowledge. There are no hard or set rules to these things. It's just that many times, human beings, first of all, they are not really sincere with themselves. They are not really sincere with themselves. To sit themselves down and ask real-time questions. If you are sincere with yourself, you'll be able to sit yourself down and ask yourself real-time questions, hard questions that will confront the status quo. Don't be afraid of confronting the status quo. Don't be afraid of confronting the status quo. Don't be afraid of facing reality. By that I mean you should not be afraid of, you should always be quick or be moved to face your fears. Ask yourself those hard questions. If not, things would not change. You would not see better outcomes out of life if you don't sit yourself down to begin to ask yourself real-time questions, to begin to ask yourself hard questions. Questions that boxes of religion would restrict you from asking. On the path of truth, we would not be hindered by the boxes of religion. We want to ask ourselves real-time questions. We want to ask ourselves hard questions to break out from the matrix, to break out from the box of religion, to break out from the boxes that society has placed us in. We want to be able to ask ourselves real-time questions that when we find the answers to those questions, it will transform our entire being. Man is a conscious being, and man is always searching for answers. Man is always searching for answers. There are many things that if you begin to ask the right questions, you will find the answers. No, when a man sincerely begins to ask the right questions, it's just a matter of time. He will find the right answers. The reason why we are not really experiencing change and transformation is because we have not really sat down to begin to ask the right questions. When we begin to ask the right questions, we will find the right answers. No matter how long it takes, it will surely happen that we will find the right answers. So be intentional and be sincere to yourself. Are you asking the right questions? Are you just living life passively? Are you just interacting with things as face value? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to me. What will be, will be. No. Personally, I'm not in support of that phenomenon. Qui sera, sera. What will be, will be. No. No, that's not how life is lived. Come on. When we were kids, we sang that song. But come on. Now that we are responsible, I didn't say now that we have gotten older, because you can be old in age, but adulthood is not old age, it's responsibility, right? Adulthood is not age. You can have white hair, but if you are not responsible, you are not yet an adult. It's not an insult, it's the fact. Okay? So adulthood is not about the age. That's why a young boy of 17, a young boy of 15, a young boy of 12 can become responsible. The day he becomes responsible and he begins to take responsibility for his life, that day he has stepped into adulthood. Adulthood is not defined by age. Adulthood is defined by responsibility. 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 Yes. Yes. So when we were small, we sang that song, what will be, will be. When I was just a little child, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be rich? Will I be pretty? If you know that song, you can remember it as I sing it now. Will I be rich? Will I be pretty? Here's what she said to me. Qui sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future was not ours to see. Qui sera, sera. Okay? But now that you are an adult and you have taken up responsibility, you know that song is bullshit. That song doesn't make sense. Life is not lived by whatever will be, will be. No. You don't do life that way. There is a level of intentionality you've got to put into life. You don't fold your hands and say whatever will be, will be. No. That is for children. It's not for adults who have begun to take up responsibility for their lives. It's for children. You know, it's children that can say whatever will be, because children are largely dependent. Am I right? Children are largely dependent. They don't really know how to take responsibility for their lives. I mean, toddlers, people who are still largely under the guidance of older people, of people you call parents. They are largely dependent. So they don't really know responsibility. So for the child, whatever will be, it's a reality to him. But it's not a reality to you as an adult. Of course, you've experienced life too much to know that it doesn't make sense. That statement doesn't make sense. That phenomenon doesn't make sense to you as an adult. As an adult, you know that there's nothing like whatever will be, will be. It is your decisions. There is someone I respect very well. He said something. He said, when we were born, we look like our parents. But as we grow older, we look like our decisions. Very profound. And it makes a lot of sense, right? So when you were born, you resemble your parents. You look like your parents. And I'm not just talking about facial resemblance. I'm talking about, even your parents' condition. For instance, if you were born into a wealthy home, you will look like wealth. If you were born into a poor home, you will look like poverty. No shades intended, right? What I'm trying to say is that when you were born, you look like your parents. The decisions of your parents rubbed off on you. So the ability for your parents, the ability that your parents had to provide for you, rubbed off on you. So your parents took responsibility for you, and everything that flowed to you was as a result of their decision. So when you were born, you look like your parents. But as you grow up, as you become an adult, as you begin to take responsibility for your life, you look like your decisions. So what you are currently reflecting is a sum total of your decisions. Yes. And I told us that we must become passionate and intentional about knowledge. If you can change your worldview, if you can become more intentional about knowledge, you will change what? The kind of decisions you make. It will change the kind of decisions you make. Yes. So I'm excited to have you guys on the live. I'm excited to have you guys. So you can hear me, just like, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so yet, and share so that others can, be refreshed with knowledge. Others can glean from this wisdom that we share. All right. So we're going to have our next live, within the next 24 hours. It's going to be a daily thing. It's going to be a daily thing. So we'll be going live every day. We'll be going live every day, at least for a protracted period. We'll be going live every day. So do well to share, tell your friends about it, okay? All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So it's been an amazing time. We're 15 minutes gone already on the live. So it's going to be a daily adventure where we share around thoughts and consciousness, where we explore truth without labels. We want to seek the truth and be transformed by the knowledge of truth. All right. So thank you for joining in. Like and sub and share so that others can be transformed. Thank you. I'm going to be ending the live right now.